Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. Sometimes I act like I'm writing down something important so I can look important. Makes me feel smart. You know what I'm really doing? Drawing little boxes. Little tiny boxes. Nothing special, just boxes. Sometimes I put boobs on the boxes. Sometimes I put a beer on top of the box. Sometimes I have a mouse running past the boxes. But to you, it looks like I'm deep in thought. Not only am I deep in thought, I'm writing it down, so it must be important. It's got to be very elevated thoughts. Reminds me a lot of our political parties. Yeah, you think that when they're sitting there on the hill, when they're writing, it beats sleeping like John McCain, but you know they're writing, and you're thinking, wow, they're really fighting for me. They're going to bat for me right now. Right now, my congressperson is trying to come up with ways to further our democracy, ways to stand up for his constituents, his or her constituents, right? That's what you're thinking. What if we only could see what they were writing? Yeah, what would they be writing really? What would Nancy Pelosi be writing on the Capitol Hill if we could see her doodle book, you know? Pictures of Chuck Schumer, nude. What could she be writing? A to-do list of, I don't know, bad ideas to throw against the wall. How much longer she'll be able to lose seats and still keep a job. A running tab I'm sure she has with Feinstein, her friend. You know, I was contacted today on Facebook by a friend who says, Tim, we got this thing going for Robert Reich. We want Robert Reich. We want to support him. We want him to run in California. I said, hold on. We talking about the same Robert Reich that annoyed the hell out of me during the primaries, towards the end of the primaries, and all through the general election. That same guy is the guy you're talking to me about now. You must not have watched any of my older material. I really got on my nerves. More and more of the Hillary's the best thing we can do, and she's all we got, and so support her anyway. And unlike some people, when I made the response, very heartfelt, real response, my gut reaction to Robert Reich's name even being mentioned with me in a support capacity for him, that seemed like not something I could ever do, right? Well, unlike most people, what she did was she kept talking. And she didn't get upset that I felt that way. She said, Tim, Robert Reich fought hard for Bernie. He fought hard for Bernie. But he made a decision that Hillary was better, much better than Trump, and he went with that. And then she went on to explain and talk more about Robert Reich. And I said, well, I don't know anything about Robert Reich. I don't know his policies. I don't know what he's about other than, I know, he used to work for the Clintons, Vince, basically the close ties he has to the Clinton campaign and whatever. And then I got to thinking, while she was talking, I was reading, she's like the labor secretary, then he ran for, he ran in Massachusetts for, I'm not sure for what though, forget. So after all this conversation, it's not conversation, it's typing on your smartphone. I started thinking. I said, well, you know what? Let me hear what Robert Reich is about. So she sent me a clip. And it was a video of Robert Reich condemning the Democratic Party. He was calling them out. And Robert Reich, longtime friend of Hillary Clinton, big-time supporter of Bernie, then turned to support Hillary, was calling the Democrats out just like I call them out. And he said, and for him, it's even better because he carries more weight than me, you know. He said, yeah, if you don't either get in line either get it together, Democratic Party, or get out the way. I'm like, wow, that's great. That's Tim Black type talk. I like that. That's how I talk. That's the way I feel. And she said, yeah, that's why I approached you. So I looked into it a little bit more, and I realized something, and I think it's worth noting. Just because I agree with you on one thing, just because I agree, just because I disagree with you about something, like I disagree with Robert Reich and Hillary's better and we need to go, fall in line or we need to support her and accolade, platitude, Hillary, blah, blah, blah. Okay, all this stuff, right? That doesn't mean that later when we agree on something that I won't support you, right? Because this ain't about grudges, right? This is about truth. And the truth is, Robert Reich did not get us Hillary Clinton. No, seriously, guys. Robert Reich did not put Hillary Clinton in front of America and force you to choose between Hillary Clinton and Trump. That decision was made by people other than Robert Reich, right? So, if that's the case, how much do I hold him accountable for what I felt was unhelpful? But that was his opinion. And now that we're at this point, right? Maybe now we ought not hold that against people if they are now, right? We're in agreement. We can work together. We got similar goals. And I'll admit I was still a little bit on the fence on it, even though I was feeling more like 60-40 Robert when I discovered who he was running against. Feinstein, this woman was at an AME black church talking to a congregation of people who obviously don't know enough about politics. I don't want to say don't know anything about it, but they know there's an election. They know that there's a place called the Senate and the House. But I don't think they know much about politics because they were clapping for this woman, Feinstein, when she said that she would not support universal health care. And anyone who claps for that can't know much about why America is in the shape it's in, how many people die each year because they don't have proper care, how many people are uninsured still, how many people are underinsured still, like they have no reference for it. They don't know. And they listen to someone like Feinstein who comes in, I don't know how often she comes through, throw a little offering on the table and talk to the people and lie to them. And after I listened to her talk, after I listened to her BS for about 20 minutes, I said, you know what? Any differences I have with Robert Reich pale in comparison with this woman. This senator needs to go. And if Robert Reich could take this person's seat, and if he had just a scintilla of progressive values, a scintilla of true support for the people, demands for the people, want the people to do better, want to end mass incarceration, legalize marijuana, want to end interventionist wars, want to stop illegal searches, seizures, forfeitures, all that BS that we do in America. And there's so many more things, fracking, support unions, be against fracking, be in support of unions, $15 minimum wage. We're talking about a living wage. Let's move it to 20. These things, if he agrees with any of those, because I know she doesn't, because she's a corporate tool. And corporate tools only agree with corporate toolism. Because that's the way her bread is buttered. And I said, you know what? I'm going to open tonight's show because I think my people who watch me, the people that tune in, they know I'm not a sellout. And maybe if they can see someone like me who's been very vocal, who's been very, I don't know word for it, tough, sometimes, dare I say, brutal, about certain people during the primary season and then the general election and even afterwards, maybe this can be a moment where maybe you can, I'm not telling you to make your mind up right now. In fact, I'm not even talking about Robert Rice specifically. You might not live in California, Lord knows I don't, right? So this may not be an issue really that concerns you all that much. But what I'm saying, this isn't about Robert Rice. This is about us saying, you know what? We're about the causes and we're about the issues. And if we're about the causes and the issues, right, then we got to leave some stuff alone. We got to at least let some stuff go. That doesn't mean we don't hold people accountable. If Robert Rice was still talking that nonsense about we need to just, coalesce around Hillary, I would have laughed. I would have deleted the conversation with that woman so quickly it'd have been ridiculous. She would have got delete rash on her thumb. You'd have been like, wow, where'd that go? She would have got her pupil would have been scratched by the quickness, the glass, the flare of light that came from me shutting down our conversation. It would have been so abrupt that, something would have happened. Her body would have moved, But he's not talking that stuff. He's not on that anymore. And he's now like beyond the Hillary thing. And he's talking about real life in real time about what's going on now. So all I'm saying, guys, is we hold people accountable if they're still doing the wrong thing. But if they start to, and I don't right, wrong, what we disagree with, what we don't think is in the best interest of our interests and our causes and our ethics and our commitments, right? But once they say, hey, I get it, and they start being demonstrable in doing things that are in line with what we agree with, well, then you know what, guys? If we punish them when they do wrong and we punish them when they do right, this is a no-win proposition. And that's when the purity type stuff goes too far. You can't be like, well, look, you never remember my birthday. Well, then you remind them. So I'm going to tell you what my birthday is. Now you told them, now they remember your birthday. And then you go, you wouldn't have remembered if I didn't tell you. Well, you just told me. I thought you were helping me by giving me information about this date that's important to us. And now when I listen and do the thing, I got to hear it now. I got to hear this. So don't be that way. At least consider not being that way. I can't tell you what to do. Right? But, Lord, Feinstein is a piece of work. She is Nancy Pelosi. I want Pelosi gone. I want all these relics gone. I want, look, dare I say, I want Auntie May, Auntie Maxine, I want her gone. I want her gone. Go sit down. Go. I want her. I want Nancy Pelosi gone. I want Feinstein. There's so many people I want gone. But those are 3 people that I want gone. We can do it. We can do it. We need to clean house. Sure, there's some Republicans that need to be cleaned up too. But I'm talking about them right now. I'm talking about these 3. I'm talking about the 3 faces of death. I'm talking about the 3 corporatists. They need to go. Just rhetoric. And Maxine only skates by because she talks the code of black people and people relate to it and she look like somebody they know and their family or something. No, it's not good enough. Not good enough. What is getting done in this House, in this Senate, in this Congress for progressive people, for the changes that we need, that this time calls for, bold action, not bold distraction, not bold, loud talk about Trump. That's not needed. That doesn't help nothing. 0. Okay? She's not helpful in that. Nancy Pelosi is the biggest loser in the history of loserdom. She could go on the world's biggest loser, the show, and she would just win hands down. She's a huge loser. She would be penalized. They would not allow her to be in any show about losing. You got too big of an advantage, Nancy. You've been losing so long. You're so good at it. The rest of the losers can't keep up. You're an expert loser. You should write a book about Losing. Call it How to Lose with Nancy Pelosi. How about you start a seminar? It's called the Loser Tour, and you just go around the country teaching young people how to lose and teaching other candidates how to lose. You just tutor them. Guaranteed or your money back, you're going to lose. Take the Nancy Pelosi course. Loser. Feinstein is a relic as well. She's what's wrong with the Democrats. She's what's wrong with contraception. She's what's wrong with so many things. So I'm with the draft Bernie movement. I'm with the draft Robert Reich. I'm with draft RB Reich. I'm with the hashtag Run Robert Run for a reason. And it's not a contradiction. It's wisdom. It's forward thinking. It's what I think needs to be done, or else I'm just a guy up here just yelling at stuff. Get off my lawn! If I want to be that guy, that's fun. Don't get me wrong, I like doing that. But yeah, we want to get some stuff done too. And we want people. We want this person out, and like, okay, who can get them out? Because this person got to go. If you're against universal health care, you got to go. There is no reason. Don't listen to anyone with any reason, anything they say. You say, do you support universal health care or Medicare for all? And they say anything other than yes and keep going. If they say no, stop them right there. Slam the door and tell them to get off your front porch. Get off my porch now. Because there's nothing to talk about. Sort of like money and politics, okay? Universal health care is right up there with money and politics. These are things we would not play games with, because as long as politicians have to take a lot of money to compete, then we'll never know who the hell they are. At least most of them. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to remove that. So those two things, and universal health care, man, if they don't want poor people and people with pre-existing conditions, and all the people across this country who have underinsured, who are uninsured, they don't want those people to have coverage for any reason. It's because in some way, shape, or form, it's related to currying water for the pharmaceutical industry. Don't you listen to anything else other than that. That's the God-honest truth. I would not lie to you. Bump what they say. I don't give a freaking flying fuck what they say the reason is for. That's the reason, okay? That's it. Don't be fooled. So those two things, I take almost anybody over people who hold those two beliefs. I'm serious, because it's that horrible to me. Okay, so look, guys. Hey, look. That's it for her. Hey. We come out with both guns blazing. I didn't plan on it. It's not my stack, but I had to get at it. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, welcome to the Tim Black at Night Show. Freedom Fridays, where you get to call into the show. You get to say what's on your mind. I really want you to do that tonight. It's really important. I want you to do it every night. In fact, we're going to be opening phone lines. As often as you see me, there will be a phone line available. We have a phone line. I have it every week, all week, 7 days a week. I have the phone line. So I'm going to use it whenever I'm online. I've talked to some people, and I think that's the way we need to get back to. Right now, we currently do it 2 days a week. We'll just look to know that you will be able to call in at some point during every show, because that is the power of media. The power of it. Is that okay? All right. Oh! Big shout out to WikiLeaks for retweeting my Barrett Brown video. WikiLeaks, you are the best. And you know what? Yeah. But you know what? As great as it felt to have WikiLeaks retweet me, as great as it felt having WikiLeaks resend my video out to all his followers, is the fact that I love what I was talking about. I love that I was sticking up for a whistleblower. That felt, that. So someone, like, I didn't even know that WikiLeaks retweeted it. And someone said, Tim, hey, man, way to go, Tim. WikiLeaks retweeted you. Cool, man. I didn't even know it. Like, it was an hour later or something. And the thing is, I'm just glad it was about something I so strongly feel about. Okay, so like, you get opportunities to say something a little bit louder, and you want to say the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine you get the mic cut on you, and at the time you're blowing your nose or something. That's not good, right? You want when the mic gets on you, you want to say something that you can stand for and stand behind, and that means something. So when my friend said, "Hey Tim, that's really cool that WikiLeaks retweeted you," I said, "Amazing," and then I put in bold capital letters, "Free Bird Brown," because it wasn't about me; it was about Bird Brown, and that's what makes it great, right? That's what makes it great. So, shout out to WikiLeaks. We had a great week so far this week. It's almost over. How was your Friday, people? What's up, chat room? Who I got in the chat, man? I just jumped in, man. I had this stuff in my head. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go, and I just went. But let me see who's in the chat room tonight, man. Let me give some people some shout-outs, man. We got to show some love, man. We got some good people. We got Kat Stefani. What's up, Kat Stefani? Good to see you. My friend Brian Crosby. Brian Crosby, what's going on? My friend G. Coolagen. Cool Gian. There you go. I call you Coolagen. It's Cool Gian, I think. Roseanne is in the house. Mortarama. Stephanie Chateau is in the place to be. Kathleen Cone. Bruins for cornbread in the house. What's up, Bruins? Tracy Lynn, how you doing? Grandma Christine 42. How you doing, Grandma Christine? Good to see you. Yes, Sandra Lee. Citizen Dabs and Night Wolf. What up? What up, Night Wolf? Yeah, that's right, man. Frederick Murphy's in the place. Lisa Weeby, and Jonathan Milton, the usuals. Joey Jones. Love you back, Joey Jones. I'm glad you love the show, man. Thank you so much. I was watching Red Canoe. Red Canoe called me Timmy. You know what? I'm going to let it go, Red. I'm going to let it go. Here's the rule. Here's the rule, Red, so you know. I don't like people call me Timmy. Tim's cool. Jimmy Dore doesn't like people call him Jim. Ain't that some shit? Give it up for Jimmy Dore, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So it's just like, And look, people are contacting me, guys. If you haven't seen my Jimmy Dore video, go check it out. People are saying it's my best video, like back and forth video, with an interview. But I've had some great interviews, man. I had, Jane Elliott. Me and Jane Elliott and I killed it. Jane Elliott, who goes around, she talks about race. Fantastic lady. We had a fantastic show. Give it up for Jane Elliott. Anybody knows Jane Elliott? Shout it out. I've had so many great people on the show. I just picked her because I love Jane Elliott. And when I had that opportunity, man, and Jane Elliott's no sucker, man. She'll come for you. All right? She will come for you. If you don't like she's like, hey, okay, Tim, and she's like, bam, she'll hit you with something. And she don't apologize, man. So I knew that about Jane Elliott. So I was like, okay, you got a little bit of nervous energy, but I was relaxed because I'm Tim Black. But still. You know what I mean? Jane Elliott, man. I've been watching her stuff for like 15 years. Marveled at her blue-eyed, brown-eyed, if you don't know who she is. Blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment that she did in the classroom, and she took that out on the road, so to speak, to educate people about race and discrimination and trying to make us realize that we are one race, the human race. So that's big time. Do I got a sound effect for that?
It's going to be consequences and repercussions.
We don't figure that out. It's going to be consequences and repercussions, or consequences and, it's going to be that, repercussions. It's going to be bad if we don't figure that out. The Intercept is one of my favorite publications. And The Intercept's one of my favorite publications. Love those guys, man. Love what they do. A big fan of them. The NSA backs down on major surveillance program that captured Americans' communications without a warrant. They back down on it. They should back down on it. Like, without a warrant would mean that it's illegal, right? I tell you, man, for a country that's full of fighters, I'm going to tell you something, man. We got a country full of proud people. There's a lot of proud people in the United States. And then we have this nationalist, like, pride thing going, right? Where we're I don't know, we have these, what would you call it? We have this folklore about ourselves that we don't take no crap, We're brash, we're bold, we're pioneers, all that good stuff. You know, in another country, if they find out the government, I'm not going to say another country, in some other countries, because we got some countries where they're clearly under the thumb of their fascist dictator, whatever, right? But it's sad that America allows, that us Americans who are so free-spirited, that are so, you know, live free or die, that we allow ourselves, right, to be to be spied on without warrants, and like, okay, cool, and we allow stuff like Wall Street to like cheat thousands and thousands of people out of their mortgages and out of their homes, and no one go to jail, and we just go, okay, cool, you know, because like sometimes, you know, people don't have to go, you know, sometimes, you know, we just turn the other cheek. I mean, I'm just wondering, where's the tough guy? It's only tough when it comes to like, you know, social issue like race or something, you know, but we're not tough about the government sticking it to us. We're like, go ahead, government, get in and in, you know? That's what we do. But when it's anybody else, that young kid deserves to die. You know, we oh, that guy's white, he must be this, and let's burn this, you know, and we fight on race, right? But other stuff, like our rights as a whole, this is ridiculous. All right. The National Security Agency on Friday suddenly announced it is curtailing one of its major surveillance programs under pressure from the secret court that oversees its practices. The NSA said its upstream program will no longer grab communications directly from the U.S. internet backbone. That's your data, baby. That's you. That's all you right there. That's all your stuff. They said they've been grabbing your data off the backbone, just snatching it off the internet. And they said, oh, we know what, we ain't gonna do that no more. You know, what we had did before, we just going to stop doing it. You know, not because we respect you enough. It's just, you know, we just decide, you know. Not because we scared of y'all people. Y'all too busy watching, I don't know. What's up now? Better Call Saul, you know. What's the new movie Matt Damon's going to be in? You know? Ooh, when's Lil Wayne coming out with a new album? That's my joint. You know, that's what we do. Ooh, I don't know. Drivers dive inners and dives. Drivers drive inners and dives. Drivers dive. You know, we too busy watching the Home Cooked Food Network. That's what we doing. We're watching the Food Network. But Guy Fieri. All right. We don't care about this stuff. We don't care about it. If America, look, I'm gonna tell you something. I believe, if I don't know, like a few decades ago, if that America saw this America doing what this America's doing to us now, I think that America would come into the future to this America and beat its ass, beat the brakes off this America. That's what I believe, man. I believe that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe it. So yeah, they're going to disable their upstream program, which would no longer grab communications directly from the U.S. internet backbone about specific foreign targets, only communications to and from those targets. Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's how they got Michael Flynn, right? Come on, man. If you are tracking the target and he talks to somebody else, you going to grab that too? How you know what's the target till you look through this stuff, man? Like, there's new targets, right? So you only go after known. See, I know this is crap, guys, because I used to be in IT, and I know that like in virus software. Like, virus software is only as good as the software is the viruses that they've detected. If you get a new virus, your software, if it doesn't know about it, it can't stop it, right? But they have something called heuristic. Now, heuristic antivirus software knows what software looks like that's buggy. They know what viruses kind of look like. So if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it'll detect it as a duck, even though it's not in the list of ducks. And you cannot tell me that the NSA doesn't look for new targets, only watches communications with people that are, already on a list. Because then they would never expand their list. They have to look at new targets in order to expand their list. If you're dealing with somebody who just shot somebody, you're having a conversation with them, you now become a person of interest because you're talking to them. Come on, man. But they put right here, Well, and I'm not blaming the Intercept because they're only reporting what the NSA is reporting or what they're saying in their statement. Okay. And they say even this is a major change, essentially abandoning a bulk surveillance program, which Edward Snowden talked about, a bulk surveillance program that captured vast amounts of communications of innocent Americans and turning instead to a still extensive but more targeted approach. Oh, thank you. Thank you. So you're not going to just bend over like, I don't know, thousands of us at a time. You just go onesie twosies or 100 at a time. You know, you kind of take time, set the lights, light a few incense, you know, put the kids to bed before you do your business. This is horrible. Now, this article, guys, if you are interested, is by Dan Frumkin for The Intercept, April 28th, 2017. In the year 2017, you can go check that out. We need to be wiser. We need to wake up. We need to fight back. We don't fight back if we're fighting one another about trivial matters. That's what I believe. Give it up for that. All right. I'm going to have to download this whole thing because I don't... Momo, I'm going to download this whole episode because I don't have a... I don't want to put graphics up. I don't want to waste time. I want to bounce to new stuff. Oh, God, this is hilarious. You guys want to laugh a little bit? What's up? You guys want to laugh? Hell yeah, Tim Black. We like laughing.
Man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
I'm not putting no banana in your tailpipe. This is hilarious. All right, so I was on Twitter and I got a tweet. That's what happens on Twitter. You get tweets. No, Alan Flaticus. Alan Smithy. Actual Flaticus. Right? And I know some people don't like him. I think he's all right. He's funny, man. You know? He didn't have a beef with Nina Turner Long. They squashed that. I don't pay attention to everything. Look, I don't know everything he's done, but he seemed to be okay guy to me. Anyway, if you know, most of you don't know who I'm talking about. It's a Twitter guy who like makes satirical comments, parody stuff, but he also tells some truth. But anyway, he tweeted me something. I thought it was hilarious. And in this tweet, he said, anyone who reads this from the DNC's attorney and remains a Democrat is an idiot. Now, just to bring you up to speed a little bit about the DNC lawsuit, all right, Jared Beck, him and his wife are currently in a lawsuit against the DNC and Debbie Wasserman Schultz for what we know is the hellish practice of how can you say this? Tying the boots of Bernie Sanders so he would fall on his face throughout the Democratic national primaries or the Democratic primary. Yeah. So there's a lawsuit. It says that the Democrats, they cheat. And specifically the DNC cheats. The DNC robbed Bernie Sanders. They did so strategically. They are biased and they wanted their Hillary Clinton, their coordinator Hillary Clinton to win. So the lawsuit is about all the people, all the Bernie supporters who thought they had an opportunity to support their candidate on a level playing field, at least against the party he was running with. They want their money back and they want stuff. Well, I'm not sure about all the stuff they want, but I'm gonna try to get Jared on the show, and maybe Jared and Nico House, maybe they can come on the show. But anyway, that's what this is about. So that's the lawsuit, nutshell, bam. I'll do a longer video on it. I've done a video. I'm gonna do a follow-up video. But this is what actual Flanagan sent to me. This is from the DNC. This is the DNC lawyer. Okay? This is what they said. And so, this is very common to have these kind of intra-party squabbles about doctrine and about policy, about rules, about selection of delegates. And the courts have said from the O'Brien case to the La Follette case, the Berg versus Obama case, which I think is has some very close similarities to this one in terms of people saying that they were duped by certain statements about what the party stood for. See, right there, see, it's nothing new for us to complain or people to complain that they've been duped by their own party. It's not a new thing. This is a case called Berg versus Obama. That's what they were saying. The Wims case in the circle, whatever. Now listen to what he says. This is very important. He says, all of these cases, I think, come down to the same thing. That really, these matters are for the parties. It's not a legal matter. It's not a matter for a judge, a courtroom. This is about the parties. They are private associations. Yes, they play a big role in the election of the President of the United States, but they are still private associations. They still have a right to order their own affairs, baby. Come on. Come on, guys. What? You don't agree? They're a private organization, just like J.C. Penney's. The Democratic Party is a private association, and if they want someone to win, they should have the right to let them win. Screw your votes. Forget we're talking about an election, about who's going to be president. He just said, he's the lawyer for the DNC. He says, look, yes, they play a big role in the election of the president. A big role. He didn't even say the full role. He said they play a big role. They play a big role in the election of the president of the United States, but they are still private associations. They still have a right to order their own affairs. Booyah, y'all. If you hear, do you hear that? Do you hear that? Tim Black TV is a TBTV, Tim Black TV, Truth Beats TV is its own organization, right? So I can hire people, I guess if I had money, I can hire people, right? We can do business, right? Right. But I don't control outcomes of elections, nor am I attached to it. Nor have I put myself out to say that I am, that I'm going to have on Republicans. And for every Republican, I have a Democrat. For every Democrat, I will have a Libertarian. I will have a Green Party member. I'll have a People's Party member. That I will have all these, like I don't have that in the charter. That's not what I'm offering. I make digital content. And we're aspiring to do other things. And once we say we're going to do those things, then we can be held to those things. The Democratic Party is telling you they're a private organization. So if they want to forget putting a finger on the scale, if they want to pick up this table and sit this table on the scale, they want to put this mic on the scale along with it, have a couple of their friends come stand on the scale so that Bernie Sanders or anyone else that you want to run can never have a chance. They are allowed to do that. This is a private matter. Don't like it, leave the party. But you have absolutely no recourse, and we owe you nada. Nada. You are owed nada. That's it. There is a fly in my studio. Son of a... Hope it's still okay. He got away, man. He was going to crawl. I'd have let him go, but he was crawling on the lens. This is bad. All right. So now I'm all screwed up, guys. All right. It's still crazy. My hat's all funky. But anyway, you see what I'm saying? Are you guys with me? That makes sense to you? That's what they're saying. So when I ranted and raved about the DNC, it made sense now. Don't it? Doesn't it make more sense? This is what they're saying. So when you give money to them, you're giving it to a private association that owes you nada. And whatever they decide to do, you idealistic kid, you sweetheart, look at you all bright-eyed and hopeful. Look at you just trusting and believing in things like fair play and decency and ethics. Look at you having faith in your fellow man. Look at you, such a goofy, naive lad. Look at you believing in fairness, justice. Unbelievable. That's it, man. That's exactly the thing. All right. It's crazy, y'all. Crazy. And then they say, Tim Black, why you so hard on him, man? Woo! You know what? Both parties deserve our rebuke. Both parties deserve it. They both earned it, damn it. They both earned it. They both deserve bashing. Both of them. Both of them are begging for it. Give me a bashing, please, Tim Black. Please, true speakers, beat up on me. And it's come to my understanding a lot of people are not talking about this DNC lawsuit at all. You know, that's not good. Now, I don't know why you would not talk about a lawsuit of something of this magnitude. Why would you not discuss it? You know, I don't know. Let's get on the ball, people. See, do you make Tim Black be Tim Black? I'm trying not to be, I'm trying to work with you. But come on, guys, talk about the DNC lawsuit. Talk about it. It's important. All right, guys, let's get some phone calls in here, guys. Let's get some phone calls on the road. We got people hanging out. Freedom Friday, you're live with Tim Black. Who's this?
Tim Black, this is your friend Thomas Salmon from Lansing, Michigan.
Thomas, my brother, what's going on tonight?
Oh, just hanging out, having an adult drink. Man, I watched you and Jimmy Dore like 4 or 5 times in a row, man. You guys killed it. That was great.
It was a great time.
If I had the dream team of independent media, it'd be Tim Black, H.A. Goodman, and Jimmy Dore on some panel.
Wow, bro.
That'd be awesome. And you were talking about Clinton, Feinstein, and Pelosi, the 3 horsemen of death or something. Man, those ladies have turned into those giant mutated birds from the Dark Crystal, just obsessed with getting elected. Another important thing, net neutrality. The head of the FCC rolled back President Obama's regulations on internet providers and content providers, so they're basically self-governing like the great Wall Street bankers who crashed our economy in 2008 or 9. And then, a little more serious note, Trump is trying to go to war with North Korea. Like he just said there's possibly a major conflict on the way. You know, Clucker Balson ain't going to be able to sweet talk the obliteration of Guam or South Korea to the American people. If nuclear war starts out, I mean, it's all over. And that's what I got for tonight. Have a good one, man. One love, Wolf back.
You know it, man. Thank you, Thomas. Wow, brother. Yeah, you know, I watched the clip before doing this tonight. Sorry, guys. I watched the clip that had Bernie Sanders. Now it was kind of misleading. Now it's but I just want you to hear what Bernie Sanders said about Trump and about North Korea. I think it's very interesting, and it's something I think we should address. There goes Barrett Brown right there. There goes. I need to get rid of old pictures if I'm not going to be using them. Let's go down here. We got any? Okay. Hang in there with me, guys. Let's see. Here we go. Sanders, Senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders made some comments about Donald Trump and about North Korea and China. Or China. It was just funny the way Bernie says China. He says China. And it left me a little bit concerned. Now, I want you to follow along with me briefly while I explain what Bernie Sanders said about Trump and about North Korea. Senator Bernie Sanders and President Donald Trump don't agree on much, but the Vermont Independent says that if the president is genuinely coaxing China to help moderate North Korea. He's coaxing him. And Bernie said that he believes Trump is doing the right thing. He said he thinks Trump's doing the right thing. Okay, that's what he says. Now, North Korea is a real danger to this world, and we have got to do everything we can to prevent a nuclear war and to get them to stop their nuclear program, said Sanders. China has got to apply the screws and tell North Korea that if their economy is going to survive, they cannot continue expanding their nuclear arms program and their missile program. Sanders even went on so far to say, guys, that China is the key to controlling North Korea. So after listening to this, I'm trying to like really like, okay, Bernie, you know I have respect for Bernie Sanders. I disagree with some things. Not enough things for me to throw him out with the bathwater. I've made that clear. Okay? That's not going to happen. That's not who I am. Fine. We don't have to agree on everything. That's the way I look at it. Bernie Sanders saying that he agrees with Trump using China to try to get some type of leverage on North Korea, I think that makes sense. I think anything that's done to avoid nuclear war is a good thing. Right? I think we could agree there. So I agree with that. Okay? And I'm glad he was able, I feel like him saying it may not be the easiest thing to say, right? Because he's been very critical of Donald Trump. So I don't think he's saying it just to say it. I don't think he's saying it just because Democrats want him to say it. I'm not even sure if they want him to say that, but you get what I'm saying. I believe that Bernie means this because I think he'd rather not have to agree with Trump on anything. China is in fact the key. People have been working for China for years, or working on China for years. If Trump is doing that, he's doing the right thing. Then it goes on to talk about Rex Tillerson and Mike Pence. Pence punts. So that's what's going on with Sanders. I thought it was very interesting. Maybe we need to take another look at how we feel about North Korea and how we feel about supporting Trump as regards to leveraging China to get control of North Korea. And know this, they do have nuclear weapons, and they are developing more weapons, and they are testing weapons, and they tested a weapon, if I'm not mistaken, today. So I think they mean business, and I know I wouldn't want to live next door to them. You know, it's one thing like I don't like neighbors that keep the noise level too loud, but I don't like calling the cops because they might have marijuana, somebody get locked up, then I got to feel bad. Now this guy's in the system because he wouldn't turn his radio down. But if I keep coming over there and telling you to cut down your noise and you won't do it, then at some point you're going, you kind of did it to yourself, homie. I mean, I ain't trying to snitch, dude, but come on, man. Anyway. No, they're quiet now. The thing is this, guys. Getting a handle on North Korea, if you were China, if you were South Korea, if you lived anywhere in that peninsula, might be something that you would want to see happen just because I don't know if everything that's coming out about Kim Jong-un is lies or propaganda, but I can't imagine everything being lies and propaganda. Not everything. I just don't believe that everything that's been said about Kim Jong-un is lies. But how much of this I believe, how much I don't believe, I don't know. Comment in the comment section below. Send me information about North Korea. I'd like to be better and sharper on this topic. I've covered a couple times, but now we need to be truly independent. I don't just want to agree with Bernie Sanders because he's Bernie Sanders. I want to agree with the best policy, the best way forward. Feel me? So help me out with that, guys. Let me know what you think. And I got any comments in the comment section. Anybody talking about North Korea? We're not supposed to control North Korea. Both dogs died. Grandma Christine says we're not supposed to control North Korea. I'm not saying we're supposed to control them. What I'm saying is, are they scary? I know we're scary. Look. I already know we're scary. Look, I already know that. All right? I'm not saying it's about who's worse, North Korea or America. I don't remember the last time North Korea was bombing 7-8 countries simultaneously. Right, Grandma? So that's not what I mean. But it's just they got nuclear weapons. And they talk tough too. And I know Trump's talking tough, right? Don't give me, you know. I don't know. Am I answering my own question with the help of Grandma Christine? Is that what's going on here? Is Grandma Christine kind of giving it to me like making me think this through? Just saying that. Just saying, well, North Korea hasn't bombed 7-8 countries. You know what I mean? They haven't been in war every day since 2002 or whatever the hell it is. Like, no, they haven't. So why am I talking about them again? Like, why am I worried about them? Hell, every other country should be worried about us. They should be having their version of Tim Black in every other country on the globe talking about the Americans. There should be a show called The Americans, but it'd be called The Russians in America, talking about how horrible the Americans are. It probably is. Roseanne Motorama says China will shut North Korea down. Down. Like that, down. That's how you get that soul, baby. You got down. Look. I just want the earth to be here. That's all. You know, like I don't want all of us gone. I like stuff. I like coffee. I like coffee. Get your Tim Black coffee at TimBlackTV.com. Provided to you by Black Mamba Coffee, a small, organic, locally sourced, ethical, coffee company that pays people a living wage. It does not. So anyway, go to TimBlackTV.com, get my coffee. Get a shirt. I like shirts. If I've been disintegrated by a nuclear bomb, I don't need all the shirts I have. And that's not cool because I like my shirts. Can't wear a shirt if you don't have a chest. Kind of difficult. So that's my only real thing. Jay LeBlanc, Bernie's pushing for $15 minimum wage. That's right, Jay LeBlanc. He's pushing for that. He's pushing for the minimum wage. I want to go to the phone calls, man. Thank you for my chat room in the house. I got a 509 number on Freedom Friday. Hey, 509, how you doing?
Hey, Tim, it's Broken Carpenter.
It's my brother, Broken Carpenter. What's up, man?
Hey, brother. Hey, I agree with your whole rap tonight, man. I mean, from A to Z, you've had me totally with you. Hey, with that NSA thing. Hey, dig this, man. Just something to throw out here. Remember, Trump has some problems with people intercepting his phone calls and his banking and this and that. So the NSA actually suddenly making a U-turn on things. Who knows why they did it, but my mind went there. So, but hey, if this Obama $400,000 speech thing, you talked about this, man. This all started back with Reagan. It's one of these bad things that freaking Reagan brought us. He went and did he went and did speeches in Japan for like millions of dollars. I just remember it fuzzy, but I remember that. But, these people don't, it's not racial. I've been bitching about every president since Reagan and Reagan too, and it's like these companies, these big lobbyists and stuff, they go to a restaurant and they eat their dinner, and Obama gave them their dinner. He didn't throw nobody in jail. No bankers went to jail. He did all, he didn't insist on negotiating pharma prices. He didn't put a public option in. He padded his money for his retirement, And what they're doing now is they're paying up their tab, and that's the way the world works. And the fact is, we can be outraged by it. We're allowed to be outraged by it. Presidents used to write books and build houses. Last president that I knew was fairly straight was Carter, and he went on build houses and crap, and pretty much was did election. He did all kinds of volunteer work. We're paying him a pension. It ought to be good enough for him, And anyhow, I don't know. I feel like we're just our whole being since Reagan's been a little bit too violent. We're a lot more Sparta than we are Athens. We aren't. We used to be more artsy fartsy, more making things. Now we're more warlike, and I don't know. That part makes me a little sad. But anyhow, hey man, one more thing I didn't mean to talk about, man. I have a Broken Carpenter movie suggestion, and that is if people haven't watched Rambo 3 in a while, they should watch Rambo 3. This was back during the Reagan era. And the Russians were bad guys, and they tortured people, and we were the good guys. Rambo's a good guy. But he was fighting alongside the Mujahideen. Wow. And the whole movie was to the brave people of Afghanistan. So I just wanted to throw all that beautiful stuff out there for today. You have you just have a great evening, man. I'm thrown for a loop. The world is just, it's craziness every day. So, I think if the bomb's going to come, I'm in range. So, hey, whatever. I'll just kiss my ass goodbye and so be it. But anyhow, you have a good one, Jim. Much love. Hey, and also big shout out to Ebon with Ebon Kim, man.
What do you do?
With the big look at your chat, brother. Look up there in that that Babe Schnitzy.
Oh, Bon Kim, my man Bon Kim. Thank you, brother. I'm so busy talking. Thank you, Broken Carpenter. Thank you, Bon Kim, man.
Yay.
Like, what did Bon Kim do this time, man? Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Broke. Hold on. What Broke say? You good, Broken?
Hey, just one more thing. Hey, the chat room's been also talking about trying to get Caitlin Johnstone.
Who's
She's
that?
an Australian that writes really great stories, really great news people. So she'd be a great guest. That was what I wanted to.
What's the name again, Broken?
Caitlin Johnstone. Or Johnston.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Got it. Someone else. Thank you, Broken Carpenter. Give it up for Broken Carpenter, man. Yeah, brother. Thank you.
Later, bro.
I appreciate you. Matter of fact, Caitlin Johnston, I've heard. Okay, so now I get it. I saw someone said something. She was recently on a panel, if I'm not mistaken, right? Where she was very, it was something about a panel because someone just sent me something. It was like, Caitlyn was on this. And I was like, Caitlyn, because the only Caitlyn that I know is Caitlyn Jenner. Okay. So when I saw the name Caitlyn, I'm like, what is that? Like, what are we talking about? God bless Caitlyn Jenner, but I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really do that stuff on my channel. Every once in a while, I'll do something that's pop. If it relates to something I think is more important, I kind of make content choices. But yeah, okay, so thank you, Carpenter, on that. Let me go to the next call. I want to circle back on Obama money, but we want to first pivot over here. I have an anonymous call. Hey, anonymous, how you doing? You're live with Tim Black, Freedom Friday.
Hey, Tim, it's Bon.
What's up, man? Hey, man, thank you, brother, for the donation, man.
You deserve everything, Tim. Anyways, I want to make this quick. What I'm going to miss when you get big is just your live chat, because the people in the chat room are awesome. People who call in are awesome. I watch live streams where there's 10,000 viewers. You can't read anything. It was just a whole bunch of spam, and that will suck. Anyways, I'd like to ask you and other callers when they call in, if they want to chime in, what you and their thoughts are about our culture in regards to whistleblowers and WikiLeaks. So when I was growing up, when another kid did something wrong, and you told the teachers, you were labeled a tattletale. You didn't do anything wrong, right? Just told the teachers that when some other kid did something wrong. And so the other kids don't like you, and the teachers and parents tell you, hey, you shouldn't be tattletale because no one's going to like you. And criminals, they call people who are like that rats, and no one likes a rat. It's the animal, just the whole package. So if we want to change people's perceptions of whistleblowers and WikiLeaks, should we be rewarding kids? Should we do that as a society rather than saying, hey, you shouldn't be a tattletale? Wow. Anyways, that's it. I love hearing all the other callers. They're great. Keep going, Tim. You're doing awesome.
Thank you, brother. Get up for Bon Kim, man. Bon's like my business manager / my partner in crime, man. We're doing a lot of stuff, man. BrightPathMedia.net is on its way. That's a good question, man. We really got to mature. as a country, as citizens, as human beings. Don't you think, Bon Kim? Like, we have to mature to the point where we respect the intention. You know, like, so there's you know, there's nuance to stuff. I look at it like, okay, if you tell me something that, like, if someone says, this is perfect. Okay, I've got over 2,200 videos on my channel. Okay, 2,200 videos on this channel. I have 4 other channels. I don't post on them that often, but one has about 500 videos. So I have, cumulatively, I say close to, let's just say I have 2,500 videos on the internet. Someone sent me a message 2 days ago. This is all true. They didn't mean to send me the message. They were sending a message to another person and 2 of their friends, telling this person that I mentioned this person's name in the video and complaining that someone else had retweeted me. It was the craziest thing. Like, look, I thought this person was your friend, but they support this guy. They retweeted this guy's tweet, and this guy in 2 videos mentions your name. That's snitching for no reason. That's like, I make commentary. I talk about people. If I talk about someone in a video, that's a good thing, because that's what I do. That's what I do. And, like, I don't talk about this person's not in the progressive world or anything like that. Okay, this is a person who I had an interaction with. He made a video. I made a video. He talked about me on his show. I talked about him on mine. And then later on, like months later, I saw him take a nice hit. He like a nice hit from somebody in the mainstream media, and I made a dig at him in a video. It was 20 seconds long. Point is this: there's a difference between snitching, which is what this guy did, who's trying to start crap. I'm like, dude, no one cares, man. I don't care. This guy doesn't care. This happened months ago. No one cares. You're trying to make an issue out of something no one cares about. So, but then there's a difference between telling something to help other people avoid harm. I'm not harming this guy. If anything, I'm helping this guy when I mention him in the video to a new audience of people who may not know him. See, I know how media works. That's a good thing. For instance, I want people to talk about me. I'm not harming this man when I mention him in the video. It amplifies his name. This is good, dummy. Good. I want people to talk bad about me or good about me. Doesn't matter. Okay? Hopefully, at least some of the people will say, who is this guy he's talking about? Let me find out about him. And then they make their own minds up at that point. But here's the point. Here's the thing. So I wasn't, this guy, look, like, how can I put this? There's a difference between snitching or creating nonsense, creating drama, and there is saving lives, or there is waking people up to a situation, as if it be, hey, there's something in this water, or the government is doing this, or this is what I saw. Like, some people may consider the young man who took the film of the shooting, Michael Slager shooting the unarmed citizen running and then planting the gun. Like, some people say that was being a snitch. It's all about relativity, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm going to go to the next call. Thank you, Bon Kim. Very important question. I still didn't answer it because Bon wants to know, should we start changing, should we start having a different type of language with our children regarding what they tell and why they tell, and like fighting back that stuff. Let's go to the next call. Thank you. I got a 651 number in the queue. How you doing?
Hey, Tim, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, man, I just want to say I love what you do, and what you do is so important. I really appreciate everything that you do.
Hey, man, thank you, brother.
I just wanted to comment on something. It's been bothering me. I would like to comment on the lesser of two evils argument. I keep hearing everyone talking about the lesser of two evils. That's been the argument when you talk about a third party for a long time, and this argument doesn't really work. I don't know about you or any of your viewers, but I've never been able to convince someone to vote for a third party using this kind of framework. So I want to offer an alternative to other people. basically what I'm thinking is we need to, instead of using the lesser of two evils argument, we need to start using portraying the Democrats essentially as hostage takers, because that's what they're doing. They're holding our values hostage. And you notice Tom Perez is constantly talking about leading with our values and leading with our diversity. That's basically saying that we're going to hold your values hostage in order to get your vote. And that's not, obviously that's a pretty messed up thing to do. But and it's really despicable if you think about it, because they really prey on some of the they're using people's vulnerabilities against them to leverage them to vote for them. Right. So I think as a third party really becomes an option, hopefully I really do think and believe that the Draft Bernie movement will gain steam eventually. I'm really hoping that Bernie Sanders comes to his senses and stops trying to do the unity tour, because it's just despicable when you see the videos of him and Tom Perez, and you see Tom Perez getting booed. But I think everyone needs to stop using the term lesser of two evils and start saying, I will not allow the Democrats to hold my values hostage, because that's what they're doing. It's just a comment that I figured I'd make. There's a lot of framing issues with how progressives argue things like this. And we're going to need to come up with a good message for trying to convert more Democrats to a third party as it evolves. It's something that we need to be thinking about and kind of strategizing, I guess, about. So, again, I appreciate everything you do. The Jimmy Dore interview was just amazing. I love you both. So, yeah, thanks for everything you do, and thanks for taking our calls. Obviously, we all really appreciate it.
You got it, brother. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. And it's something to think about, man.
Yeah.
These issues about the greater, lesser two evils, that whole conversation, you're right, it's not going to go away, and we're going to be faced with it every time. And some people could say, that about what's going on in California right now. As I opened up the show about Feinstein. Let me go to the next call. Let me get a few calls in, man. Just remind me, guys, somebody, I got a rant for Obama that I wanna make sure I don't forget. Gotta get the Obama rant in. 405. How you doing, 405? It's Freedom Friday. How you?
Oh.
Who's this?
No. Hello there, Mr. Black. It's the Top Show.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you doing this evening?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm doing very well. This is Cosmo Vinegar from Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Cosmo.
I actually wanted to touch on something I was sort of bringing to on Tuesday when I called in. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about media organization for the progressive movement and the left in general as we move forward. Now, I've noticed there's a small amount of contention and debate that's been happening in the progressive circles as to what the role of the media should be. You have some folks like the Young Turks and Secular Talk, and I don't want to say David Pakman's a part of this specifically, because I don't know what he does. But there's a bunch of them that are now trying to turn their media activism platform, or media outlets, into activist platforms. You have, what was it, Jank has Wolfpack. Not your Wolfpack. Heck, the other Wolfpack, the ones that decides that it likes to get into fights with other progressive causes with their own media outlets, which. And then you have Kyle Kalinske with the Justice Democrats, and I'm still not feeling that thing. But then you have others like you and H.A. Goodman, and Abby Martin, and Demi Dore and Mike Figueredo, who tend to focus more on activism. Who do focus on activism, but it's activism in the sense of more like a muckraking sort of thing, where you expose this nasty griminess and dirt and corruption that's underlying everything that we've come to believe is the truth. And with that, I've noticed that there's a bit of a conflict now as to which ones should we prioritize. I think H.A. Goodman and Ben Dixon had a debate. What was it? About a month ago, about whether or not the left should keep their eyes focused on. And I know it was Ben talking about H.A. in particular about his part in it, but there's a talk about whether or not it's prudent for us to focus our resources solely on one thing. And I want to ask you about this, Mr. Black. What do you think should be the role of the progressive media going forward? Because what I think is we need to be versatile, we need to be diverse, but I don't think that we don't have to be paranoid about specializing in certain aspects. I, for one, think it's great that we have somebody like Abby Martin focusing on the influence of the American empire abroad. We have people like H.A. Goodman who can put a laser-eye focus on what is fundamentally problematic about the Democrats, using a case study for why we are stuck in the god-awful position we're in. And we need people like you and Ben Dixon to be able to keep that laser focus and then synthesize all that to make it understandable to the layman. And I want to know what your perspective is on this debate.
Okay. Cosmo, give it up for Cosmo. Wow. Good question. Wow, Cosmo. I want to go live on Periscope here as well. God, that is bright, guys. Sorry, Periscope. That looks too crazy. Cosmo's got a good question. She's like, we got activism and we have media and we have these two pieces and they're trying to, we want to figure out like where's the priority? Where should the priority lie? Look, I don't want to get into tearing down anybody. I'm not going to do it. You know, I've said things about other entities before. Ain't no reason to do that now. Okay. You know where I stand if you've been following me for any length of time. Let me just say this. It's a lot easier to talk about what you're going to do than it is to actually do something. All right? And anyone who's doing something, they deserve a certain amount of respect for that. There is, to me, all things need to be done. Okay? Like I can see parties forming, us building parties, and people who are dedicated to that. That's their thing. You know, they realize the importance of a new party, or they want to build the Green Party, or they want to rebuild the Democrats. Whatever their thing is. Like I support positivity. I support you making a difference. What I don't support is people sitting on the bleachers not really doing nothing, telling all these other people that are on the field working their butts off that what they're doing doesn't meet your criteria. That I don't like. And I know, and that's like the only people I really want to call out. Did I take advantage of calling out? Because that's not right. If I'm doing the cleaning and you're sitting on your butt over there, don't tell me that I missed the spot. This is your world too. This is not your car. You didn't pay me to clean your car, lady. This is our world. So if you're not going to get in and help me clean it, then don't tell me if I missed the spot. But I don't think that's exactly what you meant. I think reporting the stories that other people don't want told, which is what journalism is supposed to be, by the way. Like me talking about the DNC lawsuit is what journalists should be doing, right? That should be news. If it was a Republican lawsuit, they'd be talking about it. So people need to vet people a little bit better. But besides that, look, I think there's room for all these pieces, Cosmo. Activism, media company, independent media company, right? We need to build platforms for that media to rest on. That's what I'm doing with Bright Path Media with my friend Byron Kemp. That's the way forward. And I believe that all pieces are necessary. And what's really necessary, what's at the high premium, what's at the premium are people actually doing something. So I want to encourage everybody. If you want to get involved, get involved. If you feel an urge to be a part of it, be a part of it. It's gonna come back triple time. You're gonna be fulfilled by doing something you know you're having an impact. But sitting back feeling powerless and from the sidelines and theorizing. Nah, man, let's get in. Let's get our hands dirty. Let's get involved. That's what I want everybody to do. Hopefully some other callers can expand on this a little bit better. But for me, Tim Black, what I think is we need all of us, and we need all of it. So if you're positive and you're working towards something, you got my support. All right. 404, you're live with Tim Black, Freedom Friday. How you doing?
Tim Black. It's Ariel in Atlanta.
Ariel, you sound like H.A. Goodman, man. What's going on, Ariel? Tim Black!
You got me all worked up. What a great thing. I'm telling you. It's not just you, but I'm telling you, it's a testament to your character that you have such great people in your chat and following you, and it's always such a pleasure on both ends to hear you and to hear what people say. So a few thoughts on what Yvonne Kim said about the question of honesty versus being labeled a tattletale. And I think it's real interesting because I think we give kids a lot of mixed messages growing up. We tell kids, tell the truth and be honest. But then as soon as they do, you're a tattletale, you're a rat. It's like, what is that? It's you're giving people two things. So that's the thing there. I think it's just avoiding that mixed messages. And the comment on your lesser of two evils, my thing is the lesser of two evils is still evil. You could pick between Satan and Hitler, and neither one of them are good. So you're still getting evil no matter what you do. Something I wanted to go back to that you were talking about at the beginning of the show, which is my big hot button soapbox issue, is health care. Health care to me, and bringing about universal health care, and I like what you said, if they're not going to talk about single payer or health care for all, tell them to get off your damn porch. That's really it. That's really it. You've got to start there, because the big manipulation of the public, go way back hundreds of years ago, it's the biggest thing they're going to manipulate you on is your food and your health. If they can manipulate those two things, they got you. They got you. They're going to hold your health hostage. They're going to raise the price so high that you'll be dying to do anything so that you don't die. And we're constantly, in crisis with our food. The whole problem with Americans, and I think the biggest reason we haven't just completely rebelled and revolted and marched on Washington with the metaphorical pitchforks and torches, is because Americans are not hungry enough. We keep people fed just enough with garbage food, but I think everyone is one meal away from revolution. Wow. We're not hungry enough. Wow. The French were hungry. They were hungry. And you get hungry, you start looking around for who's keeping you there. But we've gotten so good, our government and our media, everything's gotten so good at manipulating the public and distracting us with pointless news and celebrity frivolity, that people don't pay attention to the real things that are the underlying source. And I think that when you start, learning about what's in your food, what's in your water, even in for everyone out there listening, whenever you take a receipt that's, from a grocery store, wherever you go shopping, and it's on that thermal paper is coated in bisphenol A, BPA. That stuff goes right into your bloodstream, and it increases depression, fatigue, chances of cancer. It disrupts your endocrine system. I never touch that paper. That stuff is terrible for you. We got fluoride in our water, which is dull in our brains. And so, it's time to start learning about the most basic things that are being manipulated, and taking the power back just through our basic food and our health. And so that's what I got to say tonight, Tim.
I love it. I love it. And I love you, Ariel. Thank you so much for the call. Get up for Ariel, y'all.
Thank you so much, Tim. Have a great night.
No doubt, sister. No doubt. I have great, I know. I've got great callers. I have great chat people in the chat room. I got a great wolf pack. 1329C says TV has not been good for us. TV has not been good for us. It was only built to sell us stuff. It was never built to help you. It's beside the point. If you just start there, and realize the purpose of TV, If you just do that, if you just start with, it was never meant to help you. Ever. Now you understand when the programming sucks, right? It's all about money, right? Because that's why it was invented, right? Content was just a placeholder for commercials. Of course they're not going to let you come in there meaning well, to the detriment of them making money. And Lord knows you better not come in there hurting money, capital, right? Come on, guys. Let me go to the next call. Give it up for that. Come on. 615. Hey, 615, you're live. Freedom Friday.
Mr. Tim Black, just want to say, man, definitely appreciate you. And you know, you're a humble dude, and I think that's why people really, you know, care to listen to what you're saying. So, man, definitely you hear it, and it's cool. It's cool to hear. So, where we're at, had to drink some coffee too. So the problem is everybody's playing the two-party politics. So, in order to, I guess it all comes down to the punchline. This is what Gary Vaynerchuk says, the punchline. So what's the punchline is everybody's playing these two-party politics. So we have to be able to strike that, and where it's unanimous on both sides, because if you look at the polls and people, everybody wants something new, but the problem is the media and the government narrative, they're the ones that keep everybody divided. So obviously this is the issue at hand in order to address. What I really like is that everybody talks about the panel, and I believe that you guys should put together a panel. Tim Black, H.A. Goodman, Jimmy Dore, and Cornel West. I would like for you guys to include Gabby Tolson, and then since H.A.'s got such a rapport with Assange and the way he's doing it, his reporting and like what the guy said, the laser focus. I mean, you guys can definitely control the narrative, because you have the listeners and you formulate the whole picture, and that's the problem is that a lot of people can explain this here and there, but when you look at and you listen to a few different people and you hear enough of that, people start to really understand. So, how do we go at Trump? I go back to the ego. That's going to be easy, for the fact of we just have to, of course, like I said, attack the base, which is the Christians. And it's already working now. He's lower and lower. So, but in order to keep him in play, is you have to go at his ego. So, I mean, if we did memes, I mean, we could do Trump. Trump would be a great president if he did blah blah blah. See, we have to reverse psychology him, because his ego is so important. So if you create a narrative for him to be this great president, he's gonna fall for it, because he has no choice to. So and back to the whole Tim Black, HA, the whole thing. Really, what you can do in the meantime is start the street team. You don't necessarily have to hire, man. People will mobilize because of what you're saying. But the thing is, you have to have a focus. And because the internet is everything, we don't need a war. Because we can communicate. That's the whole thing. Now we don't even have to march. If we had the right focus on each individual issue, and attack that issue, flood the market, because with everybody's reach, I mean, dude, Assange having the right organized thing and say, boom, let's go after these elite. Let's paint this narrative of Obama, and let's flood the market of what Obama did. Let's go out and make the focus this week the people calling out the lies, which goes back into North Korea. The only way we can really salvage North Korea, and what we should have done in the first place, and what we're going to have to do on the whole board, is we're going to have to call out our sins. We're going to have to come clean of what we've done to people, and the only way that's going to happen is if people demand that. And in order to do that, you have to approach each individual culture, each individual race, religion, sex, whatever, and specific, and then have that specific reach, and then have the main goal, which goes to, it's like you go to like the FBI and the CIA, these Homeland Security, they're supposed to be revered. There's supposed to be these honor in it. So we need to approach to the workers, to the people that are just following policy, for them to work with inside to create the narrative and focus on that. So, and that's where I go to, like what and for example, what we can do is, they're talking about putting that Sheriff Clark or whatnot as a Homeland Security guy or something like that. I saw something about it. So that would be absolutely ridiculous because of the inmate. You heard about the inmate dying?
Yes.
Crazy. So the subculture.
I'm gonna need to wrap it. I'm gonna need to wrap it up, though, brother. How would you sum it up for me before I let you go?
It's just we're gonna have to unite and really be able to say. If we focus on each individual, if we say we're going to approach each individual issue specifically, and map it out and pump it out together, out at the same time, the narrative can change. And you've got the numbers and you've got the reach. It's just about being organized.
Okay, brother. I appreciate it. Unity.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. He said, unity. Organized, focus. You know, and you know you're more on the money than you know, right? You're more on the money than you realize. we have so many disconnected. We got great people that want to do great things, and there's like a million of them, like more than that, right? I get approached by a lot of stuff that's going on that people are trying to do that you know. Everybody wants to take the hill, you know, like everybody wants to run, right? But you're right. We have to slow down enough to have a strategy, to have an actual game plan that could work, and then we organize based on the game plan that we can agree on. That's the problem. We got a lot of people want to lead. Yeah. But I understand exactly what you're saying, and I agree with you. That is what's needed. How do we get to a point where people are ready?
90 seconds.
Let me get to the phone calls. I got a 615. Did I lose my 615? Looks like I lost my 615. 352 in the house. Hold on, here we go. 1 second, 352. Here we go. 352, you're live on Freedom Friday. Who's this?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Who's this?
Oh, this is Zaid, but it says Annika Collins on your thing because
seconds.
I'm here with my mom.
No problem, man. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. It's
Good.
cool to be on the show.
No doubt. What's on your mind on Freedom Friday?
So this is what's on my mind. I'm out here in Florida. I've been in Florida for 27 years, and I was a Democrat. You know, I started off as a Democrat and everything, but as time went on and I started to see how everything got all corrupt, I was wondering if Sanders was gonna branch off and create his own little thing, because I don't feel like I can claim the Democratic Party anymore, but then again I can't go Republican now, so I'm like, and you know,
10
Florida,
seconds.
those are your only two options, you know. So I'm like, I don't know, is there going to be some kind of savior for us Floridians or what?
I hear you, man. I hear you. It's a tough situation. So let me get it right. So in Florida, there is no independent. You can't be an independent in Florida.
Nope. There's no independent. We tried to go independent, and they're not having that out here.
So
gotta
say 2020.
Be that.
So if 2020 runs around, if there was an independent candidate, or if there was a libertarian candidate, if there was a Green Party candidate, you could not vote for them?
You cannot vote for them unless they were on the docket.
Okay, so they got to be on the docket. Okay. Wow. What I think, Zane, brother, is that we got some time in between now and then, right? And we'll see what we're able to produce. I don't think that's going to be a problem if we put the will of the people behind the candidate that we want. See, what happened in 2016 has really mobilized people to an extent that I've never seen before. Like, the political activity is crazy. So I don't see that going away. In fact, I see it intensifying because of Trump and all of the opposition that Trump has. So we're gonna have some candidates. I don't know. I have no idea, Zane, who they're gonna be. But if you stay stay engaged, brother, stay engaged, and I'm sure as we get closer, leaders are gonna start to arise. They have a draft Bernie thing going on now. That's to get Bernie to form a new party. If Bernie formed a new party, it would be on the ballot. He's the most popular politician, active politician. But I don't know if he wants to do it, But something's going to happen, Zane. Go ahead.
He was popular while he was running, and Trump still got it over him. I don't understand that. You know what I mean? It's like as if the people's opinion is not what's leading it, and if it's not the people's opinion, then we're not going to have good leaders. We're going to have whoever the money's buying.
That's exactly the problem, Z. That's exactly what the issue is. And that's why we're talking tonight, and that's why we're amping up, and that's why we have Facebook groups. That's why we have people marching in the streets. That's what it's all about. It's about breaking the restraints that the establishment has on the people. That's what this show's about, man. So look, Zane, thank you so much for the call, man. Stay in it. I got to move to the next call, man, but I appreciate you. And tell your mom, thank you so much for checking us out. All right. I want to get some phone. I talked a lot this show. I want to get some phone calls in with people that are in the queue. I got people on the line here. I'm sorry. I got people in the chat room. Brom SL1, James Hancock, Stubar. Florida is doomed, said Surreal. Nah, man, Florida isn't doomed. Florida's not doomed. Maybe, but look. Come on, let's be a little bit more optimistic than that. We got to get rid of Debbie Wasserman Schultz, though. Debbie Wasserman's got to go. She got to go. All right, 205. How you doing?
Hello. Good. It's Stephanie from Tennessee again.
Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? What's going on?
Not much. Congratulations on getting retweeted by WikiLeaks.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem to like you and HA.
Damn.
So yeah, I think it's good when like indie journalists and artists and publishers and activists all look out for each other in these times. When the corporations are trying to smother us, drown us all out in a tsunami of conspiracy. Yeah, can you tell I wrote that down ahead of time? I did not think that up off the top of my head.
I thought you were just flowing.
To support WikiLeaks, speaking of, I went and I got Julian's book, When Google Met WikiLeaks, and for anybody who hasn't read it yet, I recommend picking up a copy. It's pretty cheap online, and you can get a little discount. And it explains a lot. There really is a conspiracy, not like at the level of like, Illuminati, but like these major corporations are all kind of like monopolizing things. And we're supposed to have stuff that prevents this from happening. But they've really gotten so big that it's hard not to. Like we've got monopolies on our airlines, on our internet services, and our, they're buying government. We all know this, and that's why we want to get money out of politics and stuff. But it really does affect a lot. So wanted to say that. Wanted to shout out some of the people looking out for other artists and activists and journalists and stuff. Like this week, Jimmy Dore, Tulsi Gabbard looking out for net neutrality. Lori Love, you should interview him. H.A. Goodman, WikiLeaks Art Force team, which has been posting artists. And then Susan Sarandon. I've seen her tweeting a lot of you guys. So I just want to say, if those guys are listening, any of them, thanks. And then subject to talk about. You were talking about war with North Korea, Iran, Syria, etc. I saw this really funny thing today. Well, I don't think it was meant to be funny, but I found it hilarious. If you look at this video that was up of Trump today, talking about like accountability and whistleblower protections, he just sounds like someone who woke up with a hangover and was forced to go do a speech, and he took a bunch of like Tylenols and coffee and was just like, okay, let's just get this the fuck over with. He's just like, he does not want to be there anymore. He is like, they have to have blackmail on him or something, or he's just done. It's like, all right, it's been 100 days. Can I be done being president now? Like I feel so sure that he didn't intend to win now, because if you listen to that speech, it's so obvious that he doesn't want to be there, and he's just done, and he's not being president. He's being a guy who goes up and does the speeches and lets everybody else do the work, because he's like, I'm done with this. I don't care anymore. It's like, I don't know. Like, you just have to listen to it. Must escape. Get me out of here. And why doesn't he just leave and quit? I don't know. There has to be something more to it, because he just looks exhausted and like he just does not want to do it anymore. And I heard that like there was some sort of stuff that went on between him and Bannon, that, you know, Bannon was saying that like him and Breitbart and Alex Jones and them made Trump, you know, like that's the only reason he won, and so he wanted to get revenge on them. But it's like, now he's just like, deep state, CIA, just take control. I just don't want to do any, like, I can't even explain it. You just have to watch it. But if we go to war or not, it's going to be completely up to the military-industrial complex, I think, because Trump's just not in it. He's just like, I'm done with this. That is the vibe I'm getting off of him.
Right.
And, you know, he may every once in a while have a day where he wakes up and decides to try again, but he already seems burnt out to me.
Gosh. Hey, look, hey, that's how, you know, I haven't seen that clip yet. I was going to comment on the NRA convention, but I'm going to save that for another video. But look, Steph, it wouldn't surprise me, man, if it's like, you know, are we there yet? Like, he's like a kid in
I'll
the back.
tag you in it. I'll send it to you. You'll laugh.
He's like Stephanie said Trump is like a kid in the back of the car on the family trip going, are we there yet? Come on, Mom. Are we there yet? Yeah, because, look, Stephanie never believed that Trump wanted to be president. Like, he just wanted to win. He got in it. Stephanie, I always, like, refer to this on another YouTube channel I have. I did a little skit. And this was, like, during the primaries, right? I said Trump and Mitt Romney were, like, trading places. Remember trading places when the two rich white guys, old white guys, decide they want to take Eddie Murphy in and give him a job and see if that makes him have a different life or something, and if he could rise to the occasion of having response. And it was like all a big scam, but Eddie Murphy didn't know what was going on. He thought this was real, and these people gave him a job, and now he's like picking stocks, and he goes from living on the street homeless to being this rich guy. And I said that Mitt Romney and Donald Trump had a bet similar to that about the presidency. And at some point, like, Trump's like, whoa, looks like I'm winning this thing. Man, I quit, you know. And Romney's like, what? You're supposed to go all the way through with the bet, man. And Trump's like, I just can't do it, man. You know, it's just too, you know, look, guys, I'm sorry I won. I didn't mean to win. It was a bet. All right, Mitt, come here, Mitt. Come here, Mitt. I'm done. That's it. And he pulls out the $1, and he gives it to Mitt Romney, and they have a laugh. They go smoke some cigars and massage each other's feet. I don't know, but that's what I had. Next call. You know what I'm saying? Who's this? 11111 111. You're live at 10 Black Film Friday. Look, guys, I'm sorry I won.
Hello?
I didn't mean to win. It was a bet. All right, Mitt, come here, Mitt. Who's this?
Hello?
Hey, you're live. Who's this?
Hello?
Hello, how you doing?
This is Benita. Is this Tim Black?
Yes, it is. How you doing?
Hi, Tim. I'm coming home to California. I need to give you my phone number. Let me tell you quickly. I'm a baby boomer. I'm militant. I voted for jail. I wound up going to jail, and I have a plan. I tried to give it to Yvette Carnell. Tim, I need help. I'm one black woman, and we can make this work with Trump, okay? So I need your help. I'm meeting with other people. We've got to use Donald Trump, okay? He is a vehicle. He is a tool. I heard what that other young man said. We can do this. I have a list of everybody who can come on board. We got to get Congresswoman Tosi back in to help. We got to get Michelle Alexander, Nina Turner, Cynthia McKinney, all these women, as well as some other people need to come on board. I'm sick of Bernie. Okay? He either has to shit or get off the pot. All right? The damage I saw him do throughout this campaign was appalling. Okay? You can't keep calling this man a neo-Nazi, a fascist, bigot, racist, and all that, and expect for him to understand that. You can't call other people those names. Trump is not a seasoned politician. When Cornel West is still calling him a neo-fascist and Jill, how do they expect this man to reach out to them? They needed to do like Congresswoman Tulsi did. Go there, say, we want to meet with you, we want to address our concerns, we're going to be the watchdogs. They didn't do this. I'm tired of calling people coons. And you know how it came to this, Tim? Months and months ago, I heard what Jimmy Carter said. He said Trump is malleable on CNN. And I said, if Jimmy Carter lost his mind, then there was Charles Evans. Then there was Martin Luther King's niece. Then there was Roy Innocent's son. I said, now, are they a bunch of coons, or do I have to do some research? I took him under the microscope. I did everything I could to find out. Is he a bigot? Is he a misogynist? Is he racist? Is he compared to Hillary Clinton? The Pope's going to canonize him, St. Donald Trump. You know, the information was there. Many of us tried to get it out. Tim, will you help me? I want to do this. I have faith we can do this. I love Bernie, but Bernie's wrong. I saw the tears. I saw the bus drivers here in New York give up. I know certain clear-cut things about the Hillary. I'm tired of Democrats saying, what about the Republicans? I don't give a damn about the Republicans. I grew up as a Democrat. I'm a second-generation native Californian, okay? I know about the races. I grew up in South Central, Compton, and Watts. So what I want to do is give you my number, or I'll give you my email address.
Just email me. Email me, Vanetta, at Tim.
Okay, let me get a pencil. Thank you, Tim. I've got a list of everybody, Republicans, Democrats.
All right,
These
baby.
people all care.
Okay.
They all care. They want to help every poor person. And then I got to tell you about what happened on Election Day here in New York.
We're gonna have to hold it. Leave it right there.
We wound up.
Vanetta, we're gonna have to leave it there, baby. We gotta leave it there, miss. Vanetta, we gotta leave it there. I gotta move on to the next call. But I will give you my email. You can email me at Tim Black TV, and we can talk about it. We can talk about it further. You can let me know what information you have. I'm aware of the people you just listed. I've spoken to Cynthia McKinney, Nina Turner, Tulsi Gabbard. I haven't talked to her, but I do have a one way. I could reach out to her, but I would be interested in hearing if these people are interested in doing what you're talking about. Or are you trying to recruit me to start this thing? Or have you already had conversations with these people? So that would be interesting. Hit me up at tim@timblacktv.com. And thank you for the phone call, sis. 562. You're live with Tim Black Freedom Friday.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, Marvin? How you
Black?
doing,
This
man?
is Marvin from California.
What's up, Marvin?
I'm doing all right.
Good, bro.
Man, your caller, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, apologize, who asked a question about being truthful, you know, are we sending messages to the kids, you know, about tattletales and all that?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, all right. So, no, I guess that was an excellent question, and I think my viewpoint on it is that yes, we adults do. I heard one of your callers say that we give mixed messages, and you can't try to raise a child to be honest and truthful, and then when they exhibit honest and truthful traits, you come down on them saying that that they're a tattletale. That makes them not want to do that again because of the stigma attached to that. So, yes, you know, we need a different discourse with our children and being honest. I've told you before, I got 2 daughters, a teenager and a soon-to-be teenager. My main thing is to them is like, you know what, if so-and-so is doing something in class, they talking, you don't need to say nothing. You do your work. Worry about you on that. If they talking in class, let the teacher catch them. But, you know, if you see the same so-and-so and they talking about, I don't know, doing some harm, planting something that's going to cause, you know, harm to many people, whatever that may be, then, yeah, you need to say something. You kind of alluded to it, too. It depends on the thing. Anyway, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. You can't give them mixed messages. If they're going to be honest and true, you got to reward them for that. But you know, there is a such thing as, you know, minding your business. If so and so is talking, like I said, the analogy with class, if so and so is talking, let them talk. Let the teacher catch them. That's not up to you to handle that. You get your work done. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the second thing, I just want to say a quick shout out to the caller earlier too, Ariel from Atlanta, about the hungry. I really think that's spot on. I really do. You know, we're Americans as a whole, I think, is fed just a little too well. Even the so-called lower rung. You know, let it be where, you know, you're going, and I speak that honestly as a person in the city without a real spotlight in or understanding on what goes on in rural America. And I know that's been a big thing that's been popping up lately with the news. But I agree with the caller that I think Americans as a whole is just they're not hungry enough. That's the only reason why pitchforks ain't walking down, you know, Pennsylvania Avenue. So anyway, my sister's doing well. Yeah. Everything's cool with me. Love your show, Tim, and you keep doing what you do.
That's it,
Peace.
Man. You got it. Thank you, Marvin, man. Marvin's been watching the show for a long time, man. Great to hear about your family. I love you calling in about the kids, man. And I agree with you. I know exactly where you were going. I know what you meant. If you're going to do something crazy, they're going to do something crazy. I heard a lot of people snitch on them. I don't care what you call it. You're doing a service for everyone else, okay? Perfect, man. 770. 770, you're live, Freedom Friday. Who's this?
Hey, Tim, this is Dave from Stone Mountain. How are you doing?
Dave's in the house. What's up, Dave?
Ha! Nothing. I just wanted to call. I had something on my mind. You know, I caught the Jimmy Dore show, which was just unbelievable. Jimmy just does not give a, you know what.
Right.
He's got a mouth on him, but I mean, it just everything that was said in the episode was pure truth. And I just kind of wanted to address what Keith's talking about, and so many people, I mean, have on their mind. I know, first I wanted to say Ariel just blew the caper clear out of the water, talking about people aren't hungry enough. That's just too much truth. That's too hot for me to even pick up, so I'm just going to leave that right there. But the draft, the frustration everybody's going through, the wanting to draft Bernie to run a third party, the anger and energy that people are against the Democratic Party, I think people are really losing sight of how this thing's even possible to get done. And so real quick, I just want to say that, you know, everything you and Jimmy said was 100% truth. But I don't agree with what Jimmy's saying or a lot of people are saying about the fact that it's time to leave the Democratic Party behind. Now, obviously, everybody is 100% right to be frustrated with them, to be angry with them, to want to throw them in prison for what they did. And you have absolutely a right to feel like you want to leave the party and start a new one. But I think everybody's kind of letting their emotions get the best of them. You know, Bernie Sanders spent 50 years. 50 years. That's a lifetime. His whole life. Not a year and a half. A lifetime. Waiting for the right moment to rise up against the Democratic and Republican Party. Now, believe me, he's wanted to run for president and change this stuff for a couple of decades. He didn't just come up with the idea a year and a half ago, you know what, screw this. I'm going to run for president. He's been fed up for a couple of decades. You just go look on YouTube. He's been saying the same thing for a long time. You know, back when Bush was president, when we went to war in Iraq, he was saying that the American people hold the Democratic and Republican Party in contempt. That was 2 decades ago. So he didn't just do this on the spur of the moment, a whim. And, you know, he waited for the right moment when he knew his effort would actually make a difference. And so I want to say something to the people that got the Draft Bernie movement, who are fed up with the Democratic Party. You know, you are right to feel that way. But, you know, you're really trying to save your own life by stabbing yourself in the foot. You know, if you're not working with Bernie right now, you're working against him. He has absolutely no interest in starting a third-party candidate right now. I mean, he's not going to do it. I mean, you're wasting your effort. And there is no chance, zero. There is absolutely zero chance that you can win with a third-party candidate while Bernie Sanders is still helping Democrats because he's too popular. And sure, the independents in this country are the largest majority, but they're not a nice, neat little package. They're split up into libertarians, social democrats. There's some Greens in there. There's ex-Republicans and ex-Democrats who don't believe in what Bernie's doing. So it's not like you can have an independent candidate out there and have him win. I mean, it's just not possible while Bernie's still helping the Democratic Party. And, I mean, once again, you're right to want to do that. Mm-hmm. But you're really just giving up too soon. You know, these are the people that agree with your philosophy, even though they're still treating this like a team sport, you know, and they're pushing you away because you're not truly a Democrat. They're still the people that are identical to you in ideology more than anybody else. And these are your brothers and sisters and uncles and aunts and mamas and daddies. And even though you want to walk away from the Democratic politicians, you know, you can't just give up on your brother and sisters like that. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that you have to guide your decisions with your heart. And I know in your heart you think it's the right thing, but you don't make decisions with your heart. You make it with your brain. And it's just a complete waste of effort. You're not going to succeed. Now, God forbid something happened to Bernie and he pass away, or if Bernie decides to leave the Democratic establishment and give up on him, that will be the time. And I guess I just want to wrap it up by saying, you know, well, where does this end? When is it time to give up and walk away from them, Dave? We're not just going to keep voting for, you know, corrupt politicians and being part of a corrupt organization forever. But you can't say that. You're not even close to putting up with it forever. You've only been doing this for a year and a half. You know, you're asking the Democratic Party, hey, give me the keys. I got it from here. You know, and the Democratic establishment's been doing this for 10, 20, 30 years, their whole life. And for you to just say, hand me over everything and expect them just to go for that is being a little unreasonable, even though you're right to do so. So, but here's the deal. There is a moment of truth that will come eventually. You know, Bernie's not going to put up with their crap forever, and neither should you, but there's a moment of truth where you have worked to reform this party to a point where, you know what I'm saying, there will be a moment of truth when everybody sees what the Democratic Party is about.
Got to wrap it up,
And when
Dave.
they say in front of the whole world, you know, we're not going to do the right thing, that moment will be the right moment for us to tell them to go to hell.
All right.
And that moment hasn't come. It hasn't been long.
right,
we
Dave.
haven't put forth the effort.
All right, Dave, I got to leave it there, brother. That was 6 minutes, and we're really down to 3 now. All right, 304, you're live with Tim Black Freedom Friday.
Hey, it's the other Steph up in West Virginia.
Hey, Steph.
There was a lot of good questions tonight. As far as Bon Kim's question, with my son, he's 4, and what I teach him is if he's tattling on somebody to get him in trouble, then he gets in trouble. I don't put up with that. That's not. I tell him, that's not fair. But if he actually has like something legitimate, like something happened, then I show him like, hey, maybe they thought this, maybe they took your pencil because they thought it was their pencil. Let's go talk to them and we'll work it out. And I try to teach him how to use his words instead of just like running and telling and So, but the other one was basically where we go, what do we do from here? Like, I don't know if we should do third party. I feel third party, just because the Democrats I'm used to are Joe Manchin. So I mean, I don't have much faith left. This isn't like a new problem that we've had. This is decades that we've tried to fight against them. But like, as far as activism, like what I found that's really helpful is just asking questions and then sharing the information that you get, because when you do that, you find other people that are interested, and you start forming a network that way of local people in your area, to where you can actually get out and organize something. But the first step, and it made you feel like, hey, I've got power, I've got information. And it's that was like when I first started to feel the power of actual activism, and like, what I say and what I do matters. And if we get people doing that, I think, it's just a snowball effect.
Gotcha. And that's the biggest question, like which way to go. Everybody has that question. I want to just make sure I get everybody before the phone lines cut out. But thank you, Steph from West Virginia, my friend, for calling up. Thank you, Dave from Stone Mountain, my friend, for calling up. 510, let me get you in. You're live with Tim Black on Freedom Friday.
Tim.
Hey.
Hi, Tim. This is Vita from San Leandro.
Hey, Vita.
And I have some solutions.
Cool.
Immediately. First, this is Vita from San Leandro.
All right.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
This is Vita. Okay, my solutions are, first of all, we need to go back to looking at old media versus new media in terms of language and linguistics and how words are used. Remember how Gingrich made a list for the Republican Party years ago, when a list of words he sent to every representative and words they should use when they go into the talk in the public to the media, and they had a certain narrative that they continuously use, and certain words they would always say, and things that they would not say. That's first of all, that we need to understand how media works and the propaganda and selling products, and that if we're going to be a product of change, then we have to have strategy. Then the other thing I want to talk about is when we talk about parties, whether it's Democratic, Republican, Independent, Green Party, so forth, when we need to sometimes limit that title category and look at in terms of the policy and the laws in which these bills and things that they're advocating for, what they stand for, because that gets lost in the conversation when we look at candidates, or even when we're discussing different organizations that are out there, are also some of the new media organizations that when they online and when they speak in the different guests that they have and the different videos bring up or do commentary on. We need to look at that because we never get to the policy part, because you could find a progressive candidate, but then we need to look at what does that progressive candidate stands for in terms of the policy and the changes that he's looking for, are also to look at some of the policies and laws that he would like to remove, because sometimes it's not all about putting in new policy when the old policy is problematic. And also to look at the team in which he's bringing in around him to support him, because then we need to look at who are they, Then also, if we keep talking about Trump and the things that he's breaking, the laws that we break it, we have all these national organizations that's supposed to be progressive. Where is the legal team that they can utilize? And also the DNC and also the Democratic Party, where's their legal team that they can use actions outside of the Congress, the government, to do these lawsuits? That's how you break somebody down if they're doing wrong. Attack them outside of the sources through the laws and the Constitution that's on the book, in which they the ethics and the laws according to the Congress and stuff. They can use that source instead of keep going on TV talking about the same thing, what he's doing wrong. And also, we need to also look at how the Democratic Party is, for far as I'm concerned, for me, that I can't get past so many receipts that they have already given to us in terms of facts and how they work. It takes a lot of change within the Democratic Party when you have so much money and assets that they have to power that they can do so much gatekeeping and blocking any changes. They have a solid strategy, which we have not taken a look at or focused on certain areas of the party strategy breakdown of the organization to attack certain parts of it. We have not done that. And also the other thing I want to say is that we have to look at the progressive media and those who have connections that have the platform, like such as you. You can take certain things and turn them into, break it down, look at the policy that's already on the book. So if you want to be informative and educate your audience and citizens, you can do it that way, because I think we get lost in a lot of he say, she say stuff, or what we saw in the news and this and that, but we don't never look at the policy that they're advocating or not advocating. And that gets lost because we follow some talking point from the mainstream media that we pick up, then we want to keep writing on it or tweet on and so forth. We lose a lot of time with that. And so that's one of the things that I've been looking at and tried to research different bills and stuff like that. And it's hard connecting with people if you have a different opinion. And then if you're going to be a progressive, how many people, how many bills and the economical part that we want to include everybody, how are we going to pay for it? And we never break that down. Now, one thing I like about Real Progressive, the guy, he's looking at the economical part of it, and he needs to. I want to see more of that, because of the breakdown of it, of cost and how do we get to that. You can't do everything, free college, fixing the immigration. How are we going to have immigration? And then also we have high unemployment and we have no jobs. You have to look at the immigration policy all the way down to the visas, to the foreign entities that come over to the United States. How is that small businesses being removed by foreign companies that come in small business? We never look at that. We never look at the terms of how that comes to bear in the local and city and local and county. That's my point.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much, sister. Glad to think about here. I'm going to come back and comment after I get through the next couple of calls. I want to make sure I get everybody in. 425. How you doing?
Hey, Tim Black. It's Bree from Oregon.
Hey, Bree. Talk to me.
So I just want to, I'll be real quick too. I want to respond to Bond's question.
Cool.
I think the answer to his question is to step away from the binary idea of tell the truth versus don't tell the truth, because we don't live in a binary world. And I think that's why it creates all this contradiction and conflict. I think we need to teach our children that they're about the nuance of truth in our society. For example, that it's okay to tell or tattle on someone if they tell you something like they're being hurt or abused. But it's not okay to tattle or tell on someone because you're mad at them, you want to hurt them or get back at them. They need to understand that there's an intent there, and that's where the nuance will open up to allow you to find what is the intent there. So we basically just need to empower children and actually adults, I think, to take in information, assess it critically, and then kind of compare it against what they know in their own hearts and souls to be right and wrong. And that will empower them over time to be independent thinkers rather than forcing them into this binary reality that we have in our world where it's Dem and Republican, right and wrong, and black and white. Like, that's not really our world. And so I think that's how we can get out of that, by teaching children to look at the nuance and not at the binary.
I love it.
And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Bree. I appreciate you. And 772, you're live on Freedom Friday. Who's this?
Hey, Tim, it's Eric. How's it going?
What's up, Eric?
Nothing. I'm just watching some South Park. Just hanging out.
Well, look, man. So anything you want to say to Freedom Friday?
Not much. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody, everyone on the show this week, HA, Jimmy Dore, the Wolf Pack, everyone that called in. You guys always do an amazing job. Always, please keep up the good work, always. And thank you for all that you do for us. We really do truly appreciate it.
Man, thank you, Eric, man, for always calling in and saying something positive, man. Eric's got that way about him. I appreciate you, Eric. Oh, man, okay, so I want to respond to something Vita said about leading. Okay, so there's Vita commented about we spend too much time talking about stuff from the mainstream media and not enough time talking about policies that are impacting us in a bad way, right? And progressive media needs to do a better job at that. Need to get away from that. Okay, so at some point, if you stay in the game long enough, which is media game, if you stay working long enough, you'll get to a point where I'm at finally, where you can drive a conversation. That takes time. Like, so for instance, there was a time, like, remember, this is 4 years in almost, right, for me. June of 2013, I started doing this. Initially, I could say, hey, something's on fire, and no one would listen, okay? It took a long time to develop a base of people and networks with other people where I could say, HA, hey, we could put this out, and I can get retweets from HA. I can build momentum around something that's new. Okay, it takes time to be in that position. So, like, I think a lot of progressive media is very young, and it hasn't taken root, and it hasn't built a base. So so you have to put the time in so that you can start a story where you can talk about legislation. When I talk about Feinstein in California, I'm talking about policy. She does not want to support Medicare for all or single payer. She doesn't want to. That's enough. I don't need to hear anything else. Yes, that's personality, but it's her personality about a policy. When we talk about Cory Booker, when he didn't want to, when he voted down on the Canada, the taking pharmaceuticals from Canada to lower the price of pharmaceuticals here in the U.S., that was policy. So, but there's policy underneath it, well, this is, what we're talking about in mainstream media. When we talk about the DNC, but I get where you're going with that, and people do need to draw a line. But when you have little resources, sometimes it's hard to crack stories. You need people. I need Bree where she's at to help me on the ground in that state. Like, we need people on the ground on these issues, and it's and you got to have some type of spark to these stories so that they can actually get momentum. And they can't be delivered like we're reading the ingredients on the back of of soup. Because we want to ignite the masses. We want to give people with motivation to get up and get excited and get involved. And that can't be done with, well, according to this bill, HR 17, but that does need to be included. So let me go to another point. Another thing I want to talk about. Lori Love. I'm going to reach out to Lori Love. I've heard so many people have said, Tim, bring Lori Love on the show. We follow each other on Twitter. I'm going to reach out and find out. Jared Beck just responded to me while I was here. If you don't know, Jared Beck is one of the plaintiffs in the lawsuit against the DNC for the voter tampering or with the rigging of the DNC primary. So he just responded. I'm going to have him on the show on Tuesday, so give it up for Jared. He said he's open for Tuesday. That's going to be great. Obama. I've been sitting on this one for a minute. There are people defending Obama in his $400,000 Wall Street speeches. And I got to say something because you need a reality check on this issue. Money's a problem. Money's a problem. Taking money from Wall Street is a problem. We've been talking about this, and just because other Democrats or other politicians have done it doesn't mean it's what we want others to do. We want to get away from money influence. I know you want to think that, Obama is such a great guy. Tell that to some of the countries he bombed. But no, you don't want to think that way because now we're tampering with the reality. He prosecuted more whistleblowers than any other president. He set certain records, deportations and prosecution of whistleblowers who are telling the truth about the government for you. And all you can do is champion for them. And I put up with a lot of it because I know I get you. You just don't know, but damn it, you need to learn. Learn. Optics is not politics. Optics, it looks good. Look at his wife. Look at the kids. They so brown. I'm down. That's not enough. It's not enough when you set a record of deportations and then when Trump comes in, people run down the street with their hair on fire like they never heard of a deportation before. Obama set records doing it. He set records. It's sort of like Bill Clinton setting records, locking people up. And you were asleep then. Clinton boosted. He put nitroglycerin. Remember Dukes of Hazzard when they put the nitro, they hit the button and zero. That's what Clinton did on incarceration, on the backs of blacks and poor Latinos, particularly blacks. He put the nitro in the mass incarceration in the prison industrial complex and zero. And you ignore it. And to this day, I got dummies going, Clinton's great. I don't understand the problem. And his wife was right there while he did it. Right there co-signing him, rubbing his thigh. Going around the country, promoting it. The Democrats are a problem because they have, unlike Republicans, most people who vote Democrat, they don't even know the truth of their party. They don't even know what I'm talking about, half of them. If I had a bigger audience, I'd really be in trouble because then I would really I would really shake this world up because most people have no idea what I'm talking about. And if you think that a place like San Francisco, California, that's 3% black, but 56% black in jail of the prison population is a good thing, and you are black, you're an idiot. And if you're white, you need to learn too. But I'm just saying, all the bodies that happened under Obama, I'm tired of people defending Barack Obama. Okay, I'm tired of it. Now he's taking money. And the fact that you want to be naive about Wall Street. Dude, he went in. Someone sent me something. Who said it? Someone said, other countries jail bankers. Long prison sentences for what our bankers did, and nothing happened. When Obama told the bankers, and he told Wall Street, I'm the only thing that stands between you and the pitchforks, that meant you're going to have to pay me some money. The fact that you don't think that's what that meant means you have brought into acting, frankly. Acting. I'm the only thing standing between you and a rock and a hard place, so you can go to jail for one for me. And then what other countries would have done was prosecute those bankers who intentionally destroyed our economy. And you call him a hero for what? For what? So when he comes back around and picks up his money, and I say he shouldn't be picking up that money, you go, well, Clinton gets money, and Hillary got money. No, you know what? Well, what's wrong with that? You're a self-hater. What's wrong with you? No, listen. Money controls too much of our politics. Obama is gone. He should stay gone. What does he possibly have to tell Wall Street at this point? Oh, he gave them a stern talking to. This is a payoff for services rendered. Payoff, services rendered. The service was, you get to stay free and I get to bail you out. He did that at the expense of you. And you know what? And if you don't get it, that's fine. But there are millions of people in America who are still suffering from the actions of those bankers. So whether you want to forgive them or not is moot to me. The fact that I will not let you forgive him on their behalf of the rest of us, okay, who actually read, who actually look up these issues, who actually want to hold him accountable for not being the person he said he was going to be and carrying through and following through. Remember that? Not too big to jail. Remember that? Not too big to fail, not too big to jail. Remember that tough talk? Do you remember it? But now that when Trump says something and he goes back on it, you're all ears now. Recognize when you're being lied to. Recognize that both parties suck. And recognize this is not a good guy, but it's not a good guy, bad guy. We got to get out of this. As who said it? Cosmo, this binary? Bree, Vita, I think it was Bree. We got to get out of this. If this is good, this must be bad. If this is bad, this must be good. We got to get out of that. They could all just be bad, right? Obama, this Uber economy looks good. You could be your own boss till you break your ankle. There's no unemployment. There's no nothing. Nothing, okay? Stop clapping for people who don't have your best interests. I don't care what they look like, what they talk like, what they listen to, okay? Now, some people are saying that they need to listen to Trump. They want to work with Trump. Yeah, I had that, subconsciously I had that attitude too. It's like, you know what, I want to give Trump a chance. I want to see what he does. Maybe he'll do this. And then I realized it ain't my job to give him a chance. It's my job to report it. It's my job to spit real. Keep it real for you. I don't have influence over Trump to make him, to guilt him or use to play his emotions or, hey, Trump must have like you, do this, man. Look, see, black people it's not my job to do that. What my job to do is to come out here and tell the truth. What my job to do is to make other people uncomfortable who want to be asleep. Keep waking them up, And if you don't leave me alone, why you keep elbowing me, Tim Black? Because you need to wake your ass up. Please. So, last thing. I like Dave from Stone Mountain. He's been calling up to my show for a long time. But I got to talk to you, Dave from Stone Mountain. If losing so many seats. You know how many seats the Democrats have lost? Do you realize how many seats they've lost? Hell, frankly, I believe the Democrats lost last election because they didn't have a Democrat, they had a Republican. Yeah, I said it. So, for real talk, there's been a Republican since Carter. In my opinion. Forget the glasses and playing the sax. That was a Republican. Clinton got policies done that only, right now, Reagan's like, oh, damn it, I wish I could have got that policy done. Oh, that really stuck it to the blacks. I wish I could have done that. Oh, the poor are going to suffer. Oh, God. Real Nancy. Oh, I wish I could come back, Nancy. Just go out. And I know he's deceased in this meme, but what I'm trying to tell you is Clinton was a Republican, Obama was a Republican, and any scale that you would measure Republican, Democrat from the ideology standpoint of what they're supposed to represent is what I'm trying to tell you. And that's my opinion based on historical data. Dave, if now is not the time to say, okay, that's it, I'm done with him, when will the time be, man? When do you get the kid that obviously has a psychological problem? When he's killing small animals and torturing them? Or do we wait till he gets a couple of bodies underneath the porch? When is it time to say, you know what, somebody go get Jeremy? I think now it's time to go get Jeremy. He's worked his way up to dogs and cats. That's right, he started at mice. Now he's torturing dogs and cats. He's a menace. And that's how I see the Democratic Party. If now is not the time, you said, well, we got to wait, we got to do this. Dude, they've been horrible for a long time. The fact that people didn't know they were horrible doesn't mean they weren't horrible. You ever had a friend who had been doing something horrible for a long time, and then you find out they've been doing this the whole time? They didn't just start being horrible when you notice it. They've been horrible all this time. You mean you were doing that all this time? I didn't know you was doing this. You was doing it. Yes, they've been doing it because they weren't horrible just because you found them. So the Democratic Party didn't get bad a year ago. Democratic Party hasn't been corrupt for 2 years. It's been corrupt for like 30 years, man. So us now being here and recognizing, go look historically. Go look at the data. Go look at it. Go have at it. If it's not now, when will it be? There's never going to be a comfortable time. It's never going to be the perfect storm. But I believe that right now, if they shut down this internet like they want to do, it's on their radar. They're moving stuff around, man. They're doing that movie, Minority Report, and they're moving stuff on the screen, and they're pushing stuff up, and oh, shit, let's get rid of these people. Uh-oh, big mouth progressive news. Oh, gotta get that guy. Uh-oh, conservative people waking up. Oh, God, we gotta get rid of that. Oh, let's move in there to Rachel Maddow, moving these pieces, and they're moving all this stuff around. Now's the time because we have the biggest tool at our disposal historically that the world has ever seen. We have right now. It's called the internet. It's called smartphones. It's called tablets. It's called the information superhighway. And they're trying to clamp down and take away that tool because it's just that dangerous, homie. And if you say now is not the time, when will the time be, bro? When will that time be? 8 years ago, for 8 years, Obama was bombing constantly. Bush got us ensnarled in Iraq. We're talking about war with North Korea, war with the Russians, and we're still bombing Yemen and Afghanistan. We're occupying. I want to know what's got to happen, dude. In some cities, major cities across this country, unemployment rate for black people is like 45%. Don't worry, some white guys going to catch up. When is it going to be bad enough? We have millions of people underinsured or not insured or underinsured in this country. When is it going to be bad? When are we going to say, fuck, we got to do something? When are we going to say it? What else it take? What else is going to take, dude? We went into Libya. We messed up Libya. Now they got actual slaves. Actual slave. Human beings being sold because we overthrew the government and these people took over and they're like, hey, we can just... You know how I do, homie. I just do what I do. That is what is going on in Libya right now. And you say, not right now? Not right now. I say, right now, 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, it should have been done. Forget right now, it should have been done last year. It should have been done 10 years ago. It should already have been done by other people. And now I'm coming in going, wow, look at what they did. But no, unfortunately, it's up to us to do it. It don't have to be Bernie, but it got to be somebody. And the time is always, brother, always now. Because there's always people saying it should be later. I'm Tim Black, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Tim Black at Night show. I appreciate you guys so much. The bottom line is that they want to eat your cornbread, guys, and they want to fool you into believing that cornbread isn't good. Like it don't matter. You know, things like privacy, ability to hold a job, take care of your family, your pension. Crazy, right? But you would think they would believe that it's not good because they don't mind taking it from you. They don't mind you losing it. They want your cornbread. Here's the thing.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
We have to decide no one's going to take our cornbread. We have to make a decision that now is the time for us to act, and now is the time is now, and then we will not turn back. We have to decide that we're going to use our media, we're going to use our ability to get in front of these issues that matter to us, and we will not waver. We're going to realize how important it is. We have to say, you're not going to take our cornbread. We're going to stand on that. We will demand. You know why? Because the will of the people in this country, when people tell you your vote don't count, if that's the truth, why they spend so much money trying to get it? Hillary Clinton spent $1.2 billion trying to win the presidency, and you got people running around talking about votes don't count. Well, who the hell spends $1 billion on something that don't matter? Who does that? No one does that. It doesn't make sense, but it's propaganda, so we have to fight back and keep our cornbread. One of those main points of doing that is we have to control our media.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
But see, controlling your media means these people are going to come back to try to take the cornbread. Last thing they want you to do is be thinking for yourself, Periscope. Last thing they want you to do is to be autonomous, for you to have your own networks, to have their own people that influence you. They want to tell you who should influence you, you should take information from, who's legitimate. As much crap as I give Alex Jones, it's up to every individual person to decide what's legitimate for them. Hopefully they do research. Hopefully they'll listen to alternative views and make sure they got their head wrapped firmly around the situation. But the big trick is for them to say, oh, this person's vetted by us and everything else is illegitimate. Oh, you're using that? Oh, that's not. Here, you need to take this one. You need Rachel Maddow in your life. You need Joy Reid in your life. You need Glandis and Blooper in your life. That's where it's at, baby. And you look in their eyes and no soul. So, if you want something better, you want your privacy, you want your rights, you want action on issues you care about, whether it be healthcare, legalization of marijuana, end of fracking, rights for all people to use bathrooms. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not going to be easy because we know they're coming back to take our cornbread. They want to control what we do, what we think. And some issues, dude, it really doesn't matter. You got to know. You have to know. You have to know. Some of these issues, they just wedge issues just to keep us fighting amongst each other. Come on. Who really cares? I mean, do you really care about bathrooms? Really? That's a distraction, man, to keep you fighting with other people. If we don't wake up and realize that what we are really in is a soft war of ideas, an information war, not with another country, not with Russia, not with North Korea, hell, not with Canada or Mexico. We're in a war. We're in a conflict of truth, of reality, of media. And if we don't act like we are, if we don't band together, if we don't fight back, if we don't support one another, if we don't add all the elements we need to add in order to create the platform to run the ship that enables us to reach the people, because really, a lot of people, as much as I do all that, man, there are people who never heard it before. They never heard, they don't know. And it's not because they say, I don't want to know nothing. I'd rather not know stuff. It's because they're not being told.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Because the places,
Goodbye.
It's because they don't want you to know. They don't want them to know. And if you know some truth, back to what Bon Kim said, if you know some truth, if you know what's going on, and you're aware that millions and millions of people are being hurt, if you know these policies are horrible, and millions of people are being affected, if you know this is distractions being used to keep us from focusing on real issues, and millions of people are being disenfranchised, it's your job. It's your duty. It's your responsibility to snitch and snitch loud. And if you do not snitch,
It's going to be consequences and repercussions.
Damn it, it's going to be consequences and repercussions. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is the show. Become a Patreon on Tim's Take on Patreon. Find me there. Go to timblacktv.com. You'll find links to where you can give to the show to become a member of my Wolf Pack, where we get it in. We speak truth. I'm on every social media platform pretty much. You'll find me on Facebook, Twitter as Real Tim Black. I'm also on Instagram as Tim Black at Night. I had a great group. I had great callers. I always have great callers, a great group. Got great chat room. Got great moderators. Momo Pineno, Iron Man Oz, and Broken Carpenter. I got great people that support the show. Brian Kim, Kelly, Susan Sarandon. Great people. People who want to see us keep going. So I want to keep going too. Shout out to WikiLeaks one more time. H.A. Goodman, my partner in crime. And we will be back next week for more of the best. Momo Pineno, I'm still looking for an editor to support you, to get in there and help with the editing of videos. If you're interested in doing that, please hit me up at tim@timblacktv.com. It's going to be a great weekend. I want everybody ready for Monday and Tuesday. We're going to knock it out. Next week's going to be big. Enjoy your weekend. Check in with me on YouTube. It's important that you do it. I want to assign everybody an easy job to do. The job is to share at least 5 of my videos, watch 5 videos, or share and watch 5 videos out of the extensive library of videos that I have. It helps the channel. Tell 5 friends to do something. Do 5 things. 5 for Tim. Do 5 for Tim. Give me 5 and do 5. All right? And I'll see you next time on the Tim Black Show. Shout out to AC Yor, Angel Tibbs, M99, Jenny Lynn, Tracy Lynn, 2 Lynn's in the house, Roseanne, the whole crew, Bavargas 78. Brahm, someone said Brahm is not cool. Lucas Pompey. What's up, Lucas? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Rusty Shack is in the house. Rusty, where you been, man? What's up, man? We need to get that Shack oil, bruh. All right, because that Shack been rusty. I know you for at least 2 years, Rusty. You still got a rusty Shack, man. Maybe it's time you replace the Shack. I love people with great screen names, man. You feel me? Trudy Caswell. Jared Smith. Everybody. Hey, Hun. What's up, Hey, Hun? How you doing? Look, Melanie's the best. All right? All right. Melanie's the best. Tell Melanie she's great. Love the herbal nuggets I made from Melanie, and I'm going to share it with you guys. It's been great. Balances out the blood sugar, all that stuff, and keeps me going. So we're going to talk about that. That's a primer. And that's it, guys. Tin Roof Rusted. Tin Roof Rusted. Sergeant Hayes, Ariel, 27. Read the comments, Tim. Bruce for Corporate, Sir Real, Pink Rose. Read. He said, don't talk, Tim. Just read the comments. Broken Carpenter, get some Rust-Oleum. You guys are crazy. M99. She is the best. I would tell her, please do. Just save the car. This guy told me saved it. Let me skip over you. Uncle Ron in the house. What up, Uncle Ron? Grandma Christine, Citizen Dams, Freedom Fighter. Look, I want to talk to, is anybody out there on Periscope, man? Periscope, you see how I get down. It's a fun show. I want you to become a part of the community. We have an actual community here. Hundreds of people that get together and we talk about issues that matter. Freedom Friday, people call into the show and they get to say what's on their mind. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I want you to be a part of it, Periscope. Go to timblacktv.com. I got to go, guys. Nate Jerm, 848. I got to bounce. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. And with that, peace.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
It's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
Damn right, it's gonna be consequences and repercussions, baby.